Hello, Nick here from TechNuovo and welcome back to the channel. Hello, Nick here from TechNuovo and welcome back to the channel. You're not going mad, I did that intro twice and hopefully you heard a difference in my voice. Why? Well, I've been using these. They are the Wave T5 Wireless Lav microphones from Maono and I'm liking them quite a lot. Let me run through what I've learned so far while using them. To start with, this is the camera and phone combo, which is the most expensive package you can buy at around £100 at the time of making this video. They also offer single setups for lightning ports, i.e. iPhone, USB-C for Android, or DSLR-like cameras. This combo has it all, but if you're not going to use some of those parts, you can hone in on just one of the systems if you want to try and save some money. This combo therefore includes adapters for lightning and USB-C connections, plus an aux connection for your traditional DSLR camera or similar. In fact, you get quite a lot of stuff in the package, including the charging box, which includes two wireless lav mics and the 3.5mm receiver, plus a 3.5mm cable, USB cable for charging the charging box, the receivers for both lightning and USB-C ports, windshields for the mics, clips and lanyards for the mics as well. The microphones are magnetic. They come with a magnet attached to them on the back, so you can secure them onto a t-shirt, top or thin jumper, with the magnet being on the inside of the top. If that's not your thing, then clips are provided too. They're magnetic as well, allowing you to clip onto something else. If you don't like either of those, you can use the lanyards, attach the microphone and have a bit of a necklace kind of thing going on. It's all magnetic and very easy to swap between the solutions. Setup varies depending on what you're using these with, but generally it's very simple. I just plugged everything in without reading the manual and it works straight away. For me, I use these with my Canon M6 most, as that's how I usually shoot my content. So that meant I had to plug in the aux receiver into the microphone port on my camera via the cable provided, then remove the microphone and attach it to my t-shirt. Top. Upon first use, I hit record and then left the room, walked to the other side of the house, and it was recording my voice without any problems, and there was no chance the camera's internal mic was picking me up, proving the lav was active and working. On the microphone itself, there are two push buttons. The first is a mute or remote camera button, while the other is power on, pairing and noise reduction as well. There is also a small indicator light which will change color, stay solid or blink, and depending on what it's doing, will relate back to an action. For example, blue and blinking means the receiver and the mic are not paired, but once that light turns solid, it means they are. These actions are detailed within the manual in case you want to have a look or get stuck. As for the camera receiver, it too has some buttons, a push button for power on off and pairing, then a sliding switch for mono and stereo options, and then lastly a rotary knob for volume control. The receiver comes with a clip similar to those you can use with the microphones, but where does it go? Well, it slides perfectly into the hot shoe on the top of the camera, neat, tidy and a great way to mount it. Like the microphone, there are a couple of indicator lights to help show what's going on, plus the 3.5mm port for the cable connection to your camera. Moving on to the mobile receivers, these two have indicator lights, a single button and a USB-C port. Why USB-C port on these receivers? It's for power pass-through, so you can charge your phone through the receiver and use the receiver at the same time for long recording sessions. As for performance, I think it's pretty good given what's provided and the price tag. For me, it's certainly superior than my onboard microphone on my camera, but you could argue this is somewhat still entry-level gear when you're talking about camera and audio setups. My voice is clear, it's crisp and without any editing, sounded better when compared to my onboard camera microphone as well as the hardwired lav that I sometimes use as well. Selecting between mono and stereo is handy, perhaps, although I stuck with stereo most of the time. There is a noise reduction feature built in and I thought that worked pretty well and it helped reduce background sounds coming through. Testing, I'm using the microphone plugged into my iPhone. Noise reduction set to moderate and sound coloration set to voice enhancer. Testing, I'm using the microphone plugged into my iPhone. Noise reduction set to moderate and sound coloration set to brightness. Testing, I'm using the microphone plugged into my iPhone. Noise reduction set to moderate and sound coloration set to warmth. Testing, I'm using the microphone plugged into my iPhone. Noise reduction set to moderate and sound coloration set to huskiness. The app is handy, especially if you're using these mics with your phone. Open up the app and gain access to volume or gain control, turn on noise reduction and select its strength, add sound coloration, which effectively is an EQ option, and select mono or stereo recording. Then close the app and go into your camera app on your device and start recording. It's that easy. As the receiver is plugged directly in, no need to fiddle with Bluetooth settings on your phone or anything like that. Upon first use, I was prompted with a firmware update to both the mic and receiver, so that's handy knowing they can push out updates if they need to. That being said, using the app with the camera receiver is not the easiest. For me to use the app with my camera setup, I needed to run a USB-C to Lightning cable into my phone so the camera receiver can be accessed. Not ideal, a cable isn't provided, and it's actually a pretty niche cable, or for me anyway. I don't yet have any other reason to have a USB-C to Lightning around the house. If you have a newer iPhone or Android, USB-C to C will work much better. Anyway, I got it working, but it was a little bit of hassle. Transmission distance is very good. I walked around the house out to the garage, about 30 meters, I would say, and it didn't drop out. Obviously there are two mics, so you can use them both at the same time, which is great if you're doing an interview, or say me and Steph got together to do a review. That would work really well. Battery life appears good. They state up to 9 hours in each mic, 30 hours in the case, so you should never get caught short without any battery. No quick charge, so expect to wait around 90 minutes for the mics to charge back up when they're dead. There are battery indicator lights on the case. Then if you wanted to check the level on each mic, you can do so through the app. Overall, I think these are great, and what's not to like? Yes, connecting the camera receiver to the phone to use the app was a bit of faff for me, but otherwise this system has been a breeze to use and it improves your audio recording. The price is good, the flexibility to use with other devices is great. 2 microphones, good battery life, options for how you wear the microphone, all for about £100. Based on the times I've used these so far, I'd happily recommend them. I'm going to keep using these, try out different setups and scenarios, and if I come across any problems or things worth mentioning, I'll make sure to drop a comment in the section below.